116 Hotline. It's Sadie.
It's Satana. And welcome back to 116 Hotline. If this is your first time here, hello. And if this is not your first time here, welcome back. And we have a special guest today.
Yes.
Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay. Yes, my name is Tarra Quinn. I am born and raised here in Tulsa, and I'm a content creator. I also own a marketing business, so I work a lot in marketing and all that fun stuff. Primarily am a food reviewer, and I love that for myself. My fridge loves it too. I'm a mom, and I got 2 kiddos.
I love that.
Aww,
I love that.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this episode.
Wait, this is I think only the second time that you're meeting Tarra, right?
No, I feel like I don't know.
I think it was just the fashion show.
The fashion show? Maybe so. Okay, maybe so.
Yeah.
I think she just talked about you so much that I'm just like, I feel like I've been there with
Period.
you. Welcome. We're so excited to have you. I've been watching some of your stuff through Satana too because she's been reposting a lot. And so you do mainly food content and food reviews?
Yep.
Yeah.
I just got into, I've been posting food for a while, but it kind of like riding this wave of.
Oh, okay. Have you always done food? Like food review?
For the last couple of years, yes. Yeah.
For some reason, I thought that you were like really into like fashion stuff too. Just because I mean, yeah, you are, huh?
Well, I am, and then I kind of got sidetracked on this food stuff. So I'm trying to like bring back the fashion and the thrifting because
girl, I love your fashion. It's so like it's so memorable.
Thank you.
It stands out.
Yeah, it stands out.
Yes.
It really does.
Thank you.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Well, even this morning when you were walking, I was like, oh, she got a blazer on with like a little red shirt.
That's like my new thing this year. I'm like just thrifting blazers for jackets because it can add to any outfit.
It can.
Yeah.
You can dress it up or dress
it down.
Yeah, exactly.
I see.
You
I
always
never
look
thought
like
of
you're
it
ready
that
for a business meeting.
Exactly. Hey, you always got to be ready because you never know when you're gonna meet someone out in the wild and they're gonna be like,
you could be at Trader Joe's and then they just be like, "Damn, you want to have a business meeting?" I'm like, "Yeah, right now." Put my blazer on.
I'm already ready.
I'm ready, honey.
So how did you get started into content creating and whatnot, especially being here in Oklahoma?
Yeah, it was. So I was a licensed esthetician for like 11 years,
I
and
didn't know that.
and did eyelash extensions for a really long time, and then the pandemic hit, and I was like forced not to work. I was self-employed, and was like, "What am I going to do?" So I started applying to different jobs, and then got into the cannabis industry, and I needed to market myself because I was a sales rep, and then went on there and I was working for a brand that came in from Arizona, and they just wanted me to be as personal as possible. So I started posting, like that journey of traveling around, and then it just kind of kept taking off, and then, just kept going with it.
I love that. Wow. Did you go to school for to be an esthetician too?
Yep.
You did?
Yep.
Did you go, was it Claire Sage?
I went to Broken Arrow Beauty School.
Broken Arrow Beauty School.
Bro,
That
I literally just
cool.
learned that she did lashes.
Really?
Yes.
I keep my license up too because I'm like that state discount.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Period.
I can see that though. I can see you.
I loved it. I loved it, but honestly, it killed my back. And then after the pandemic, people were like not doing anything extra at that point, and I was like, this is too risky for me. I've had this business for too long.
Okay. How long were you in it?
11 years.
Dang.
You were doing lashes for 11 years,
honey,
girl?
I need that friend discount.
Do you?
Yeah.
I know, for real. Do you?
I loved it.
Do you mind me asking how old you are?
No, 35.
35?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
35 years young, honey.
Period.
Yeah, I started when I was like 20 something, and it was like right when it became popular here, and it was incredible.
Dude, there was like a wave.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because now some of my clients I actually work with, now.
Yeah.
And I've come back around.
Full circle.
Full circle moment. I
Yep.
love that.
Okay, so we just went over your age. Any words of wisdom to younger Tarra?
Oh, go with the flow and don't get held up on anything, and do it by yourself. Don't count on anybody else.
Ooh. Any particular context behind that, if you don't mind sharing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
No, this might be good. good insights.
I think at the end of the day, like, we can't expect anything from anybody else, and I think we're the only ones that can really, like, take our dreams and make them into reality. So, like, I think people told me early on, like, don't expect your friends and family to support you first, you know, and that was kind of a hard concept to grasp. I'm like, oh, I have a really supportive family, or I've really supported, like, friend group, but really when it comes down to it, that doesn't happen. And so I think if you just don't go into the situation thinking that automatically you're going to have support, and you just, like, really focus on yourself and, like, showing up for yourself, I think that is the most valuable thing. And I think that I wish I would have known that a little bit earlier on.
That's true. That hits.
Yeah. Food for thought. That's okay. Food for thought.
I'm marinating in that first.
I know, right? I'm like,
because it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know if Sadie, you can speak on this too, but
Right.
I feel like I've also gone through similar things where it's like you do expect your friends and family to be your number one supporters, but sometimes they're your biggest enemy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
never-
It's so
yeah.
weird. Like, they just want to see you down. Like, I don't. It's almost like a not jealous. Well, I guess it's kind of jealousy
Envious.
in a way. Yes, in a way.
And it's this weird thing where, like, they know this version of you, and once you start progressing or going into something else and they don't know that version of you, it's like doesn't sit well with them, and it's hard for them to grasp that you are a changing person when they're stagnant in the same thing that they're doing.
Absolutely.
okay.
And I think it's different when you have the mentality, like, people like us, like, I constantly want to change, I constantly want to do better, but they're just like, some people just stay at the same job for the rest of their life. I mean, that's fine, but, like, I think it's hard for them to grasp.
Like being open.
Yeah.
There's a quote that I read somewhere that's very similar to that. That was like, people that are in your life, that are your friends or family that don't support you, it's because they don't know that version of you. They don't know the new version. So they're scared. They're kind of like, I don't know what to expect, the unknown.
Yes,
So
the
then
unknown is change.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like they're uncomfortable almost, like they don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
So it's like scary for them too. But I'm like, you can do that, but in a nice way. Like, just don't be a hater.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know why that brings it out in the people that you know the most, like, you know, care about the most. I don't know why. I would love to know.
I don't know.
That
Any
is
hitters out there?
Have you experienced anything
Hey,
like
okay,
that?
well, I will say, here, how about this? I'll be the devil's avocado.
Thank you.
Okay, because I feel like maybe I have gone through, I probably have gone through something similar, like seeing other people progress, right? And you're like, why am I not like that?
Right. Okay.
But for me, I feel like I use that to channel and motivate me to be like, okay, if they can do it, then maybe I can find some way to do something similar, or to chase the dreams that I want to, like, find something that I am as passionate about as they are.
Yeah.
And then be as successful as that.
Right.
So I feel like instead of being like the negative way, I kind of used it to like motivate me.
Right,
if that
that's
makes
good.
sense.
Yeah,
That's
and
good
not a
though.
lot of people do that.
Yeah. I
it's
think
hard.
it's like, we say this all the time, but like we tend to overlook like the most simple things, you know, in life. And I think a lot of people, they're just like you said, essentially they're just afraid of change, of the unknown. They're like, oh wait, well, I don't know what that is. Like, I'm uncomfortable in that. So they have some kind of like negative projection towards that, but at the same time, it's like, you know, this is your life, so you got to move on and do you. And I never thought of it that way, but I wonder, is this something that's more like into like, from what you do, like, you know, content creating, and something that's like more out of the norm, if you will, you know? Well, I mean, nowadays it's not really anymore, but
Yeah. I
like,
think for the people like closest to me, it is a little bit different for them, because it's like all of a sudden they're being like, oh, you're her sister, or you're her you know, mom, or I'm getting recognized when we go out in public or something like that. And I think it's just hard for them to be like, wait, what?
like, yeah, okay.
What's happening here?
Like mini celebrity.
Yeah, it's weird. It's crazy.
It is kind of weird because it's like almost, because I feel like you're so local that people, like, when people see you, they're so like excited and like they just want to say hi. I think that's like the greatest feeling as a creator is to see people like connect with
Recognize
you.
you.
Yes, or like
Yeah.
getting recognized, because it's like, that's someone that actually watches your content, that actually supports you. It's a stranger, but they support you and they probably watch you consistently, you know, like.
I mean, that's the wild thing. Like, getting on, once you post a video and you have these like select people that are constant, like, reposting, putting on their favorites, liking it, commenting, like, just going above and beyond, and then you get to run into them in person, especially when you're a local content creator. I think sometimes when people are just like a general content creator, you don't run into the people all the time. So it is a unique experience to be a local content creator.
I agree. I love that for you. Like, you're doing really, really good though.
Thank you.
I saw your, I think, I want to say, is it your most viral one, the birria taco ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I still want to try them. I haven't yet, but I really want to try them.
Because of Tarra, I DoorDashed it during my
you
lunch.
did?
Yes, I know it was pretty good.
Okay, you gotta have it in person.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Like,
Makes
it's
a big
probably
difference.
fresh
It's
right
probably
there.
fresh better, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a taco truck, right? You said?
Yeah,
I gotta try it. It looks so good.
I rep him hard. I love him.
It's pretty flavorful too.
Oh man, and everything he has. He's just like a really nice person too. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, his food is delicious. They're the best quesadilla tacos in town.
Ooh, I gotta go try it out. You know, I love me some birria.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. We need to go in
And
person.
then you did this whole little burger thing recently that you've been reposting.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, tell us about it so we can share it on the podcast.
Yes. So I have a burger at District Burger right now.
Oh wait, it's like your burger?
Yes, it's called the Tarra Burger.
Yes.
Yeah,
That sounds like as she should.
Well,
Period.
So I think it was when we went to go try. They invited us. So I was on a video, and I had said, District Burger has some of the best burgers, and they invited me out to come eat. And when we were there, they had it's in Broken Arrow, so they had the mayor and then the assistant mayor had a burger, and I asked them, I was like, why aren't you doing influencers? Like that makes so much more sense because like as a foodie, like you're like, hey, this is my burger, go try it. And I feel like it was an incentive, so I just like reached out. I was like, this is kind of what I want to do, and they're like, absolutely, let's do it. So it worked. It went really fast, and we just went and tried a couple different things, and we landed on it. And yeah, so you can get it through the month of December, and I think it'll be until the first week of January.
Oh, okay. I have to go get some.
It's bomb.
I have to go get one.
Sadie, it's good.
What? Okay,
good.
what's on this burger? Burger, and what's the name of it?
Yeah, so it's called the Tarra Burger, and it's at District Burger in Broken Arrow. And the best thing about District Burger is a lot of things are locally sourced. So like the meat is from a farm about an hour away.
Okay.
The bread is from Pancha Anaya, which is a Mexican bakery here. So it's got 2 beef patties with pepper jack, and it has jalapenos, fresh jalapenos, bacon, jalapeno jam, and then it has an egg. And did I say pepper jack?
Yes.
Okay, pepper jack. And then it has hash browns on top of it, so it adds that like crunch to it.
Shoot, that
And
sounds delicious.
it's not too spicy, I don't think. It's
You
just
don't think
like,
so?
I wish it was spicier, but it's like a good like.
And also, Tana likes her spice.
I know her spice level is like.
That was one thing I was worried about because I was like, I don't want people to think jalapeno jam and jalapenos, but really, it's just like that little bit of
A little
spice.
kick to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could definitely put them out, but I just think with the jam and the sweetness and the spiciness and the saltiness from the bacon and stuff, it just
Oh my god, that
Like,
sounds delicious.
you know
and
that-
the egg on it too.
Yes.
Ooh.
egg.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Danny doesn't really like a lot of food. He ate Tara's burger. He's like, he's pretty good.
This slaps. This slaps.
He's picky.
Yes, he is.
Really?
It's pretty good. He was like, that was this like the first thing I thought of when I ate it was the jam. I was like, what is
jam?
this delicious combination of sweetness with the.
Well, I mean, all of that. That's right up my alley because I like spicy too.
Yeah.
I love jalapenos.
We need to go
and all
eat
that.
it.
We need
Yeah.
to.
Let me know and I'll meet you guys up there.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I love that. And I just want to say, like, I'm so proud of you. Like,
Yes, congratulations.
So if you guys don't know, me and Tara met via TikTok a year ago.
Yeah.
It was a year ago.
Through TikTok?
Yes.
Oh.
And you know what, though? It wasn't, like, us directly meeting. It was one of her followers that live in Pennsylvania or something that tagged, like, hey, there's another girl in Tulsa or another Tulsa creator.
Oh
Yes.
my god.
And I was like, hey, what's up? And I think we were just like, you want to go eat? Okay.
Yeah, it was so easy. And like,
the
I think like
universe.
as a content creator, like it's really hard to find people that you mesh with well and that get you. Because I feel like in this world of content creating, it's almost like, I don't want to say like Hollywood, but it's like its own thing.
Can you guys talk a little bit about that? I'm actually curious. Like, how does that, like, how do you find genuine connections with other content creators? Like, how do you know what their intentions are? Like, like, yes, it's a business, right? Essentially, at the end of the day. But at the same time, you also want to have, like, real, like, values. Like, if you want your values to, match and whatnot. Like, how do you pick on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard one. It's a trial and error type of thing, too.
Oh.
I think you just got to hang out with somebody and kind of pick up their vibe and then just kind of see how things go because it can be like a really shady.
Yeah, I've heard from her stories from her. Yeah, so I'm just wondering, like, how do you...
It's almost like high school, I feel like.
Yeah, you just
kind
have
of
to give it
funky.
time too, and just be like, okay, is this person as genuine? I think with being getting older and being like like having friends that you're just like, oh, okay, like acquaintances, you kind of pick up on things after a while, especially with this type of industry. Yeah, it's a different game for sure because I think a lot of people see most content creators when you're friends with them like as competition, but really like everybody's content is so different,
right,
that really you're never really in a direct competition with anybody. But I think that some people feel that way.
Yeah, I agree with that too. They almost feel like you are the competition. It's like, no, honey, we're in the same industry.
Yes.
The people that are trying to hire us, like they we're trying to do the same thing here.
Right.
We're trying to do the same thing here. And I think that people definitely, I think in Tulsa specifically, I feel like people are very jaded by numbers, and they're very like, they don't really understand the quality of content. So I feel like that kind of comes into play with content creators, because they're like, I want to be buddy with everybody, but it's like, it's not like that. Like, it's, I don't know.
And you got to be careful who you sit at the table with.
Yeah.
Which I think that we've both discussed.
Experienced,
yeah, lately, is like, if you are, it's kind of hard. I mean, if you're doing if you're wanting to get paid for content, like, this is one thing that I've been dealing with. Like, if you want to get paid for content, or you take this seriously as a job, and you know the value that you provide, you don't want to go sit with everybody that's doing content for free, because then you're labeled into that group. So that's one thing that I feel like I'm dealing with a lot in Tulsa, is just like making sure that you don't sit at the same table with some people just because of that.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. And I talked to someone I talked to someone this week, and I'll tell you who they are after this, but they were also telling me they actually aren't from Tulsa, but they just moved to Tulsa, and they were telling me that Tulsa's kind of like 10 years behind with everything.
Yeah.
And he was telling me, like, even the influencer world, like creator world, they're like 10 years behind, and like they don't understand the value. And they're like, versus a big city, like, people have to collaborate in order for you to stand out. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, like, Tulsa is catching up, but it's like they expect people to do it for free. And I use this analogy in my stories, like, you don't expect your electrician to come fix your electricity in your building for free. You have to pay for that, right? You don't expect the water people to turn on your water without paying for it. Like, even content creation, everything is a service and a business. Like, just because mine may look a little different doesn't mean that it doesn't hold as much value or less value.
It's just wild, because I want to film a video of like showing the process of content creation. So not only are we doing outreach, and somebody's like, hey, I want to invite you to this dinner, and it's going to be, I'm just going to feed you, blah, blah, blah. So by the time we have that correspondence and we figure out a time, you go out, you drive over there, you're already out money, you sit down and you eat this meal, and then you go back, and then it takes you sometimes an hour to 2 hours to do a piece of content, and then you put it out into your platform that you've been building for 4 years nonstop. So then it's like, okay, I'm making you money, but really you could have just thrown that food away and it would have been nothing for you, you know?
Absolutely.
So flashing food is just getting really old for me, and I feel like I'm getting really mad about it.
No, me too.
Because I'm like, I can eat a peanut butter and jelly at home. Like, I can go out and buy my food if I want to, and that's kind of what I do too on my platform. Is like, I obviously like get paid for some things, but like a lot of it I try to find like minority owned businesses and go to them and show them love, Oh,
I love that.
And I do that out of like paying it for myself, and that's fine, and like that's what I want to do and give back. But I think a lot of people see that and they're like, oh, well, she did that for free, so she's going to come over and eat this meal with us. And
right.
It's like, no.
I think I really want to speak on like the platform itself too, because people don't understand, like, Sadie, you're not a content creator, but it's it's really like a community that you make, just like our podcast here. Like, we're going into year 3, honey, and we've gotten a few sponsorships, but really it's a passion project.
Yes.
Just like content creation, you have to have passion behind it, because people can see right through you. I think the reason why it's hard is because you build this community on your own accord, right? Like Tarra said, before you even get bigger or whatever, you've been building it for like 4 years, and then maybe one video just pops off, and then you just get a consistent following, and it's like, that doesn't show you the hardships of when you had 0 views. Or
that's the hard part. It's like putting it out there and you get like 5 likes. You're like, oh.
Exactly.
And it's been like that for years until it finally until it hit.
We all started at 0.
Yeah. And I think that's what people don't understand. Like, oh, they just have no, honey, I've been working on this for years. Like, I have experience, and to see that you don't want to pay me, like, that's showing you that. That's basically you saying that you don't see any value in me.
Right. First of all,
like,
disrespect too.
No.
But then, like you said, I think it's just like a lot of people don't really see it, like you said earlier, as a service. it's literally a service, and you guys really do put a lot of work into this. I mean, just knowing from like, you know, you editing the podcast, I mean, our episodes and whatnot, it takes a lot of time just to edit, right? Like editing and all the hard work that you have to put into it. It's a lot of work. So as you should ask for, you know, you should be getting paid for this. And
I think you know, me and Tarra also do social media management on the side, and I think that's what's cool about both of us is that. And another person that we, you know, have been hanging out with recently is like, you can see both sides of the coin. Yeah. As a content creator and then as a social media manager, like the business side of it. I don't know. It's just cool to see both sides.
So for the people that don't know, what exactly is social media management? Or what do you guys do?
You want?
Yeah. So basically just managing businesses' social media. So creating the content. It can look in different ways. Some clients I show up and we meet every couple months and we do like batch content and then I give it to them and then they post it. Or there's like businesses that I work with that I'm there like 3 times a week, you know, shooting content for them, making sure they're in front of the camera, that type of thing, and then posting it out onto their platforms.
Okay. Gotcha.
Love it.
So is it like, are they all different? Like, do you guys have some kind of like deadlines, or you have to like get this done by this time? Is that how it works? Yeah. Okay.
You have to like schedule it out. And then I think like on the social media management side, you have to be very like, I don't know, like communication with the people that your clients essentially.
Yeah. Right. I have a retail client and that's probably one of the hardest ones I've ever had to deal with because it's like you constantly have new things. It can be kind of overwhelming, which you would go in there thinking, oh my gosh, there's so much things that I can shoot, but really it's overwhelming. It's like, where do I even start here? Or something new's coming in every single day. So it's like you're just constantly pumping out content. Yeah. And then the accounts that you're just kind of like, I have one account that's like, I'm always like, okay, how can I say this better? Like, how can I even put this out better? Like, it's a pelvic floor strengthening chair. And I'm like, how many times can I talk about a pelvic floor strengthening chair? You know?
Oh my God. Don't even throw that at me. Because you know how my brain works? Once you ask a question, I fucking I start getting ideas.
Yeah, but then they like die out and you're just like, you go into a rut and you're like, okay, well, how do I
what more can you add to this?
I don't know, repetition. I always say like repetition
because putting the information out over and over and over.
Yeah, because I mean, like, you know, it may be annoying to us, but it's like, fuck.
I read a quote one day. It was like, on Instagram, only 5% of your like actual followers see the post that you make. So just like I always tell businesses, like if you're like, okay, well, we keep posting about our hours of operation. It's like, no, you're only 5% of those people saw that. And I promise you they're not getting annoyed by it.
Yeah. And then most likely it's like new followers.
Yeah.
Look at us giving you guys free information.
I know, right? A lot of like knowledge.
This is called social media consulting, what we're doing right now, essentially.
Yeah.
And like that's a real job too, okay? Like don't play down on that because people that are in the industry and they've been in the industry, the experience. It's just like a plumber, right? You can go to school for plumbing, but if you haven't experienced some type of weird plumbing, you don't know. So it's like...
You know, the crazy thing is that, like, me being a person that's not, you know, into content creating and everything, but, I mean, I've heard a lot from Satana. Like, I, as an audience, can't really tell if a person's being genuine or not, like you said. But sometimes I can, you know, like, just like huge content creators on like TikTok or whatever, like people like talk about them in the comments or whatnot, and I'm like, oh wait, but I love this person, but this is really how they are. Like I just don't really know what to believe, you know, like you said, it's kind of like a celebrity type of, you know, status, because then people fade into it and they're like, wait, but this person was promoting like this such and such, but then in reality they're kind of like the exact opposite. So it's like I really don't know what to trust sometimes, and I'm like, ooh, this is kind of sketchy to me. But I mean, so how do you guys feel about that? Like, I mean, like you said, obviously, I know y'all are genuine people. I'm not being biased just because I know her and I know you. And like just from what you just said just now, you want to highlight like minority businesses. Like that means a lot. So
yeah, I think as I don't know about you, but like people that I've been following, especially like on TikTok, as they start getting bigger and bigger, I almost find them unrelatable at some point. And it's not the fact that they can like afford nice things, or like I just feel like they just get bought out. And it just doesn't seem like the same people. So I actually like smaller influencers most of the time, and I feel like I have a better connection with them. And I think people are sleeping on smaller creators.
I agree.
Brands. Yeah.
Like you said, local. I love that.
Yeah. There's a local creator that I follow. She lives in Kansas City, and she's a Latina influencer. She has she has a small following, but still, it's like I think she's big because I interact with her stuff all the time, and I'm like, she's relatable, she's genuine, like I love her, and
she could influence you.
Yeah,
if she said she bought something, you would go buy it.
Yeah, like it's genuine, and I think that how you can differentiate when people are genuine or not is if you feel like you connect with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like if all you see are ads,
Yeah.
where you know, like it just sounds like a commercial.
Yes.
I'm not connecting with you. Like I want to know, like how, like what are you struggling with? Like tell me, like how can I connect with you?
Yeah.
on that level.
Be a real person, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, are you stressed? Are you going through it life? Like, you know, like I want to connect with you as a human, not just
to sell
bills.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to sell things.
And I
Yeah,
hate
yeah.
that. Like whenever I see, I'm just like swipe. I don't want to.
I know, it's kind of yeah. That's true.
Yeah, it gets old.
So did you go to school for this too, like marketing or whatnot, or
No.
how did you guys?
I went to college for a little bit at UCO and for graphic design back in the day, and then I just was like, this isn't for me. It was too competitive, and I was like,
Is it really?
Yeah, it was super competitive, and I had to do a lot of art classes, which I'm not like great at, like drawing with my hands, like. And I had to sit in these like classes where they'd be like, draw the fruit, and I'm like terrible, and all these people are great. So I just was like, nah.
Picasso level, like
Yeah, that's why I went to beauty school. I was like, this is more my speed. I want to work for myself. But no, I'm self-taught. What about you?
same.
Self-taught
I mean,
as well.
yeah, self-taught. Like, girl, I've been doing internet stuff since I was like in high school.
I saw that video of you the other day
What
that
video?
you posted on Facebook.
Shut. Of me and my sister.
Yes.
On YouTube, whenever y'all were just
Anna.
Yes, girl. I mean, I saw my YouTube channel, but yeah, I used to do YouTube videos like in high school.
It was so cool to see that though. How neat.
How I've been an influencer, honey.
I feel like you've always been into the whole like internet thing, right?
Yes.
Even when you were younger, because
You
like
had MySpace and all that?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember all that.
So we used to have a website called asiantown.net, and it was kind of like MySpace but for Asian people, like of all types of Asian people.
it was like a big platform.
Yes, it was a big
Okay.
platform, and you would have like your own page, right, as like your username, and it was literally HTML coded. So tell me why we were in like elementary school coding, full on coding HTML websites, because every page had to be like
That's like MySpace.
It's just like MySpace.
you were like, this is
Exactly
my
like
page.
MySpace.
Welcome to my page.
I need animation in the background. I
Yes.
need the music.
Girl,
The dropping stars
the
or
music,
whatever,
the
music.
stars, the borders around the photos.
Remember like rating your friends?
Yes, like
How toxic.
first top
Yes.
5 first. It was toxic.
But you know, we had on Asian Town, we had each user had a guest book on their page, so people could leave their like comment, like, "Hey, friend, just want to let you know I stopped by your page."
Cute. I love the support.
It was so crazy.
It was awesome.
But we were like, I want to say we were like maybe 10, 12
We were
12 years
young.
old.
Why did our parents give us like full
Girl.
access to the internet at that point?
I don't know.
I was in all the chat rooms.
Chat rooms, yes. I would walk to the public library because we didn't have internet at home, just so we can use the public library.
Remember how long it would take to even get on there?
And the internet will like
You just
lag.
pray that it like actually does it.
That's crazy.
So I don't know if you know, but Tarra used to live in Oklahoma City.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
What part of Oklahoma City?
Central. I used to
Okay.
live there for a little bit. Actually, a crazy story. I don't know if you want me to tell you why I ended up there.
Tell us.
girl,
We
tell
want
me,
to
tell
tell you
me.
about the
I've
tea.
never told you this. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I fell in love.
Oh.
And I was like, I was like easily manipulated at a young age. And he was in prison.
Nerd.
Locked up, they won't let me out.
Yeah, so I did that whole little thing. Anyways,
dead.
so I met him before he went, and then he was like, basically like, hey, just like FYI, I have a court date today for a DUI, and I was like, okay. And then I got a call from his buddy afterwards that they were gonna put him in jail or prison for 2 years. And I was like, oh, the love of my life. And so we did the whole thing while he was in prison, and then they let him out after like 10 months into a halfway house. And so I moved up there. This is when I was doing lashes, okay? This is how crazy I was. I was working like at a salon, and I moved and I went booth rent, which is like really crazy because I was like having to force to like pay booth rent. And so I had to like gain clients like off the bat because I, was already out money.
Yeah.
And so I hustled and made it work, and then stayed there for a little bit, had my son, and then moved back. But yeah, I loved Oklahoma City. I still have like really good friends there, and I feel like really connected to that place just because of like the hardship and all that stuff. Obviously we like broke up and everything, but it was kind of crazy there for a little bit. So I followed somebody.
Did you move from Tulsa to Oklahoma City for him? Oh, see.
Girl.
How long were you in Oklahoma City for?
So 7 years, I think.
7 years?
Yeah, it was a while.
Holy moly.
That you're with that.
Oh, no, that was like on and off for 12.
Sheesh. Oh, okay. Did you already have your son at this point or no?
No, like not in the beginning. But
not in the beginning.
During.
Oh my gosh, the things you'll do for love,
dude, and being young and manipulated by an older man.
That'll do it.
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy story, but yeah, I've been to like prisons and done visitation.
Hang on, pause. Do you mind sharing the name? Leah's past in the past. Okay.
It was a wild time in my life. I was a partier then.
And you were younger. You were a lot younger.
Yeah. Very young. I was like 21.
Oh,
so I feel like it's excusable.
Okay,
yes,
gotcha.
it is.
Yeah.
Or 20s. I mean, that's all the excuse you need.
I'm telling you, man. We talk about this all the time too. In your 20s, you're just like trying to figure it out, and you want to try everything. And I mean, that's okay.
And that's okay.
Yeah. You will learn from it.
But I have a question for you.
Yeah.
See, because we're talking about wisdom and age.
Yes.
That's okay, right? To like go through like the party phase and stuff like that. But do you also agree? Like at some point you gotta wake the fuck up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So speaking of that,
let's hop into that.
Let's unpack that. Let's unpack that.
So whenever we say something, we're gonna like talk more about that. We're like, let's unpack that.
Was like our little lingo.
Saying?
No, what's the word?
Trademark word.
Yeah. Anyway, so at what age did you feel like, okay, like I am kind of like slowly stepping away from like my party phase. I need to focus more on like my future and whatnot.
Yeah, let me think. So I've been sober for 5 years now. So right around when I turned 30.
Really? Around 30?
Yeah.
Because that's how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
That's how I'm feeling.
And I did it too. Just like
when you were 30?
Remember, like just because I was like, I don't want to drink anymore.
I wasn't like, I mean, after I had my daughter, so my daughter's about to be 6. So like after I had my daughter, obviously like wasn't going out a lot, but like I would still get a babysitter for every other kind of like weekends, and I would have the kids, and I would go out and I would get it hammered, and it was just like, why am I doing this? Like you wake up and then you got to go get your kids, and then you feel like shit, and then you're like laying on the couch and your kids are playing. You're like, what the heck am I doing? So it was kind of one of those moments, and I also just think that, like seeing the past behavior of like people in my family having alcohol addiction and like other addictions, I was like, yeah, I don't want my kids to think that this is normal, and they, and so, I just think you get to a certain age where you either get over it. I think I should have gotten over it way sooner, but I also think that it's not excusable just to be young and dumb. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
I agree.
Good point.
I think binge drinking and going out and doing all that stuff all the time is a form of addiction, and I think it was like me waking up and realizing that that's also a problem.
How did you get to that point?
I was gonna say, how did you get to that point of you realizing?
Well, it's weird because like when I stopped drinking, I wasn't like, I mean, I went out like the night before and I was like, got hammered at Oktoberfest and woke up the next day and had to go get my kids. I was like, this just sucks. I'm just kind of so over this, and I think just like burnt out. And I think that it started off by getting I was like, I'm just not gonna drink for a month. Like I was never one to have like alcohol at my house or anything, but when I went out, my intention was to get as drunk as I could.
Right.
And so I was like, hey, after a month, I'm just gonna like see and see what happens. But then I started like gain clarity, and like once you start like being more social and going out with people, and like the person next to you, your friends that you were hanging out with, are just wasted, acting full of themselves. You're having to drive them home. I was like, gross.
You start to see it from the
and I'm like, if that's me, like I don't ever want to be that again. And so it was from there. I was just like, I'm done, not drinking again.
I love that.
Shoot, man. It's like, I mean, maybe when it hits you, it'll hit you, right?
Yeah. Like, everybody's got to be ready. Just like when you leave a bad relationship, you got to just be ready for it, you know?
That's a good comparison.
I think you have to have an honest conversation with yourself, too. And like you said, almost like, am I going to do this for the rest of my life? Like, literally.
Do you want to feel like this?
Yeah. Exactly. And like you said, you don't have alcohol at your house, but the intention is, when I go out, baby, I'm getting
then you're going to get hammered.
And then you make all these bad decisions.
Yes.
And then you have to wake up in the morning
and then you regret it.
Girl, so sorry I said that to you last night. Like, and that's not who I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was watching a podcast last night, actually, before we went out, or it was a TikTok. And she was like, if you want to be your higher self, always ask yourself, is this what my higher self would be doing? Like, is my higher self sleeping in every day?
Wait, I think I've seen that video. Is it this Asian girl?
Yes.
That was so inspiring.
Like, okay, same for you, Pages.
Yeah. I saw this video like a while ago. It's so it's like an eye opener.
Saw it last night, and I was like, damn, that was such a simple thing, but like to always ask yourself, like, okay, you know, I don't want to clean the kitchen.
But higher self, does she mean like a better version of yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
So would your better version of yourself be doing this right now?
Or like let's say like yourself tomorrow at 10 a.m. would you be thinking about like wanting to do this or whatever? So it's like I don't know, she put it into really good perspective.
I know. I'll have to see if I liked it. I hope I did so I can find it.
I saw it a while
let me
ago
know.
and it was so good.
So we can link it for our listeners and viewers too.
It was
great.
You know, that's the crazy thing about social media is like you can just come across one video, they can say it so simply.
Yes.
And you can be like, oh, that changed my life.
Yes, literally. And then there's another, just while we're talking about that, I do want to get back into that. But then there was also a video I saw on TikTok where it says something about there's a person laying in a hospital bed right now that's wishing they could do what you're doing, you know, so go out and do what, you know, go to the gym or, you know, take advantage of, you know, just to live, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, dang. So that got me up. I'm like, okay, I got to get out of the house. I got to go to the gym.
Move your body.
Move my body, you know, so those are just really, I mean, it's for you for a reason. It was on my For You page for a reason. It's like, yep, the universe speaking to me.
Yep.
I know. And you know what, Tara, me and Tara were joking around like it's a Mercury is retrograde. No, it literally is in retrograde.
Is really?
Yes.
It's tonight's the last night and it's a full moon.
Oh,
so like what were you saying yesterday? It was like you can't do like specific things or like
you're not supposed to like do like heavy conversations during Mercury retrograde. There's usually like a lot of like miscommunication. Usually your world just kind of like gets turned around. And
are you into astrology?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
I'm not like super hip on it, but like I like it. Like it is a hobby. Like so, but yeah. Tonight is a full moon, so you should be manifesting, and it's the last retrograde of the year.
It is. Oh yes. Okay.
Yeah, it's in Gemini. So if you have Gemini in your chart, that's the whatever house it's in is the most effective.
Oh my God, Brian's a Gemini. I'm gonna tell him to manifest tonight.
Yeah,
say honey.
It can be good. I always
money.
Feel like even when it's bad, it's good. You know?
Yeah.
So you just have to think about how to change from that.
That's a really great way
I love
to
that
do
though.
it.
That could be so like full circle because we're talking about like things in your younger years to like your older years to now. It's like you can manifest the future that you want.
I fully believe it.
But then, like, back to what we were talking about like, you know, pulling yourself out of that, like, you know, just like addiction. Like, that's, I mean, you know, essentially it's an addiction, right? Because like whenever you do go out, you just feel like the need for like, alcohol. You just feel the need for like, just to, I don't know, something to like satisfy yourself for the temporarily, right? But it's like, I feel like for me, I'm about to turn 30 as well. And it was around like maybe the beginning of this year, I want to say maybe, I slowly started feeling like I just don't have the urge the urge to go out anymore or like just to like drink every weekend like how I used to anymore. And I'm like, maybe is it my 30s for real, or is it just like I'm getting older and I'm like I just don't have the energy for it. I don't know what it is. So it's like, you know, I'm just curious how, you know, that came upon for you since you're wise.
You just get tired of it.
Just get tired of it, huh?
And then I think you go out and you're like, oh my gosh, all these kids are so much younger
yes,
than me.
Girl. Every time I go out and I
lady.
see like a lot of the younger people, I'm like, and they're going crazy, and I'm like, oh yeah, that used to be me. I just get like, I cringe a little. I'm like, ooh.
Secondhand embarrassment.
Yes. I'm like, ooh, yeah, that's not.
I think it's something about the 30s, like knowing that you're nearing the 30s, and it's like, honey, the wise is coming down.
Like we have to slow down. Like I'll go out here and you know, here and there with my friends, but then like doing it every weekend and just to get like
I don't know how people
every
do
weekend.
it.
I'm just like
we just went out last night and I'm already tired. You know, we don't even.
Dude, I looked at Tara. I was like, Tara,
it's time to go.
I'm ready to go.
We saw a couple songs. Peace out.
No, and I think like that's like I don't know. It's just like, do you really want to be doing that?
Right.
Drinking, hangovers. Oh my gosh.
I want stability, and that doesn't provide stability.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel, but for me, I was more like, I rather focus my time and energy on literally doing the things I want to do. Like being productive,
yeah.
Like instead of drinking and like getting hammered, right? Through like from freaking 9 p.m. till like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Like I could be going out and doing something that's gonna affect my future self, like help me. I don't know. That's my mindset.
You'd be sleeping right now, feeling like crap. You're not gonna go to the event today. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I think also like time wasted on just hangovers should be illegal.
Ugh.
Time wasted on hangovers should be illegal.
When you get older, it just gets worse. And worse.
Yeah.
I remember just laying there on the couch and watching my kids play, just being like, "Oh my god,
you feel like shit."
Well,
I mean, let alone, okay, so y'all are both moms.
Yeah.
Yes,
Let's dabble into that. I'm not a mom. Like, you know, we had a conversation earlier. Yes, if I have kids.
But you will be.
I will be.
And you're a great auntie.
Thank you. I love kids. I love
that's
kids.
sweet. That's why you're a teacher.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love her kids too. I mean,
kids are great.
I know.
She genuinely like loves
I could tell.
kids.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I literally love kids. But yeah, so
I think it's weird when people don't.
I know,
No,
right?
seriously.
When they're like,
"Ew,
yeah, I don't want
you
kids. And they're just like all salty about it. It's like, well, you had a bad childhood.
What's your trauma? No, I'm just
Yeah.
Oh, hey, let's unpack that.
Podcast.
JK. But
Don't get offended. I mean, hey, the shoe fits.
lace it up. No, I'm just kidding. But it's okay. So you're a mom.
Yep.
You have 2 kids.
I do.
You 2 kids.
Yeah.
Okay, and you are a single mom.
Yep.
Okay, so how do you navigate like your job, what you do around that, and like your schedule with your kids? I don't know. Do you get your kids all the time, or
Yeah. So in the last couple years, it's been like this. It wasn't whenever they were younger. I had them most of the time. And now it's 1 week on, 1 week off, which is very odd as a parent because like this is such a weird thing. But like I've run into my kids in public, and you as a mom, like you know where your kids are all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the weird thing for me is like once they're not with me, I don't know what they're doing and I can't really control anything. But whenever they're with me, obviously like on mom mode, you know. But yeah, it is a little bit interesting, but juggling a career that's very demanding and is difficult, and it's taken me a couple years to find some boundaries with that and like really just put my kids first. Like I try not to, I'll go to events, I'll do certain things because my mom obviously wants to see them, but like it's not my priority to do anything, and most of the time I turn things down.
Oh, like whenever it's your week with the kids.
Yeah.
Okay, I respect that.
I have a question for you. What's as a single mom, like, and like obviously like having a demanding career, what's one of the main things that you find that you struggle with?
I think as a content creator, it's balance because like I could go film all day, but then sitting down to edit a video or doing something like that, I find myself doing that at night, and that's when they're like hanging out, playing on their tablets, that type of thing. So I think that's honestly, and also you'll get this, but we try to go out to all these community events all the time and be busy, and it's like, oh, like, you know, and that's just, and you don't want to miss out on things or progress your career in any way, but your kids really do come first.
Yeah, I mean, even like today's event, and Danny's like, "Are you gonna?" I'm like, "I'm bringing my fucking kids." Like, shit, that's part of the package, honey. Like, you know, you want me to be at this event? Like, great. It's not. I mean, I got kids. Like, I'm gonna bring them with me.
That's your package. You're gonna have to bring them along.
Exactly.
Yep.
Motherhood is the best hood.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Dude, I cannot imagine a pregnant Sadie.
I can't wait. I'm like,
I miss being pregnant. Did you like being pregnant?
Dude, it was kind of traumatizing towards the end, but I mean, like the actual, like, like the little butterfly.
Like feeling the baby.
Yeah. I think it's just such a special, I think you just like become one with your body. I know that sounds so like strange, but like you just have more appreciation for your body, I think. And it's so wild to think that this like thing is like growing inside of you.
Creating a life.
Creating your literally
is
life
so like.
Yeah, I think because I'm getting like geriatric pregnancy, like at my age, I've been like, oh, I miss a little baby. I want a baby. I was telling my mom that the other day. She's like, what?
I'm like, getting a puppy.
Dating. Yeah. I got a cat.
You have 2, don't you?
3.
And a dog?
Yeah.
Just cat lady.
Yeah.
And a dog too?
Yeah, girl.
Oh, I didn't know that they just only had cats.
No, I got a big old dog.
Oh. Did I tell you that my dog is going to be a Shih Tzu? I thought it was
a Pomeranian.
I thought so too, but then I got clarification
Is
yesterday.
it identifying as a Shih Tzu?
Yes.
Okay.
Identifying as.
Yeah, it's a Shih Tzu.
Cute.
Yeah. I was like, Pomeranians, I guess, are more like...
When do you get it?
She said 8 weeks or something
By
like
the
that.
time the baby's 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, so it was just born.
Yeah, this is only their second week. Yeah.
I really want a tiny dog.
What is your dog?
I have a big 110-pound lab.
Lab? Okay.
How do the labs look like?
They're
You like...
kind of like
I'll show you. Yeah, a black lab.
It's kind of like basic
very
looking.
typical.
The only thing I know is the Great Danes, which is a big one.
I've had one of those.
The skinny.
Yeah, and then pit bulls. That's literally the only two I know.
You would recognize the lab. He's
so
cute. I'll
basic.
send you a picture. I don't know why I don't post him. He's cute.
I want to see.
I know. I only see your cats. That's why I said I didn't know you had a dog.
He's needy, so I try not to make eye contact with him. He's a man. I literally am like, because he'll be like,
try to get. Yes, that's how Brian's dog is too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I really, really appreciate that coming from you, like being a single mom and, having a high demand career and everything. So, just the fact that you, and like, I always tell this to Susanna and Valerie too, whenever we do talk on the podcast, like me, of course, I don't have kids, but I'm a teacher. So I see it like, from a teacher's perspective. So like, it really, really takes a village, you know, to raise a kid. So I appreciate that, you know, you being a parent and being involved and always putting them first. Like, it will go a long way, especially whenever, like, you know, it's your time with them and whatnot.
They see it. It's crazy because, like, the opposite is, like, their dad kind of has, like, everything for them, a pool and, like, all these, like, fancy, like, nice things. And I'm like, my house is okay, you know, like, it's nothing too crazy. And so I for a while, I was like, in my head, I was like, oh, but they, like, beg to stay with me now. And I'm like, okay, you're doing great. Whenever you spend time with them, that's all they really want.
You know, we was it a couple episodes we were talking about giving people their flowers?
Yes.
I want to give you your flowers.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like, you really do a great job at being a content creator. And I'm getting a little emotional.
See, like, it's going here.
No, like, you are really good at what you do, and, like, I can appreciate that you're creative, like, that gets it. And not a lot of people get that, and, like, balancing mom life and everything too. Like, I appreciate your friendship.
I appreciate you too.
You're amazing.
Thank you. Oh, that's so sweet. I really appreciate that, because I do feel like a lot of the times we feel alone in that. You know? And so it is nice to be able to bounce. And my son is also special needs, and so that's something that I struggle with too, is like with content creation, is like sharing that. And we talk about this all the time. Not to pivot too much about, but like sharing your kids.
Yes.
And still being a mom content creator.
Yes.
You know, like, that's important for people to know that, like, that's my identity. Like, I am a mom, but not sharing too much about them.
Can I get your perspective on that? How do you feel about people sharing their kids online?
That's a good question. Actually, I was wondering about that.
Do you notice it, like, as, like, you don't create content and you don't have kids right now, but do you notice it when people are putting their kids first? I'd be very curious.
I haven't really looked too much into that, but then ever since, like, you know, you told me about that, like, what is it, exploiting your kids?
Exploiting your kids.
So can you, first of all, give me the definition of exploiting?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the actual, like, textbook definition is, but for what I understand, it's like essentially using your kids to get money. Like, these people that put their kids out as, like, that's their content, is their kids out there on social media for the whole world to see. And
even if they get, like, especially if they get brand deals from, like, kids stuff too.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I think it's like that's their main, like, objective, is like, I'm this mom and here are my kids. Like, they're basically like actors.
Yes, in their show.
Without their consent at an age
that they don't really understand what is
Yes.
So imagine, like, growing up and your mom is like a content creator and you had you pooped your pants, you know, just something like crazy, or like you're eating, like, there's a lot of, like, weird sick people that take those videos of kids eating and, like,
I've heard about that.
Stuff.
Yes,
I've heard about that.
You had an embarrassing moment and your mom put it out there for the internet. You're going to school and your school found, like, there's just, I don't think that it's progressed, that it hasn't been going on for that many years for it to be a problem, but I guarantee you there's going to be so many shows about these kids being traumatized and getting money from their parents suing them.
For sure.
Because they make a lot of money.
They make a lot of money.
A lot. Or there be parents where they literally will show a video of their kids and running around in diapers. Like, you think that's just diapers, but people are fucking sick.
Even in bathtubs, even covering up, like, private areas. Like, still, like, people don't realize that they can manipulate anything on the internet.
That's something that I feel, I mean, coming from, like, just as an audience, like, I would have never thought of that until I've, you know, got into, you know, those, like, the rabbit hole of that, of people can literally, like, take your pictures and videos and do whatever they want with it. And that is a very, very dangerous thing. And I mean, and I teach at a public school, so we have, you know, this thing where obviously we can't post kids, you know, like, on our personal stuff too. So, I mean, you know, we don't do that, but then we post it on, like, our, like, school websites or whatnot. And I am against that, especially if you're using your kids for publicity or just for like, you know, for your own personal gains, then that's I don't know, that's obviously negative and wrong. But then, like, I feel like there's an extent to it, because I see people in not celebrities, but then, like, you know, YouTubers like Timothy Delgado, you know, where he just posts his kids because he wants to share his life. Like, how do you feel about, because for me, I'm like, I love this is beautiful, like, you're sharing your kids with us, and it's not anything that's like
exploiting.
I guess exploiting, or like, you know, in a bad way where they're like naked or whatever.
Not with a bad intention.
Bad intention. But so how do you differentiate that?
I think for me, you can tell, but I mean, me personally, I just don't feel comfortable anymore. Like, once I learn about that, I'm like, I just don't want anyone to see their faces in general, because it's almost like someone breaking into your home. Like that's like the boundary of personal and private life. Like that is my boundary and I'm cutting it. So for me, when I put like emojis on my kids' faces, I'll post them when they do something funny or something, and I'll just put an emoji over their face. People get so pressed about that. I'm like, you don't have,
but those are your kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, hello,
like I'm not allowing you to cross that boundary. Like just because they're my kids doesn't mean you have to see them.
And then here's the thing too, also, do you do that because of what you guys do? Like everything's on public on your pages and everything, and you guys are content creators, so that means that you guys essentially have, you know, welcome the public into like your posts and whatnot, right? Because I know people, like, I mean, just regular, like my relatives or whatever, like they post like regular family pictures, right? So I'm trying to differentiate that, like, okay, you don't really post. Do you post your family pictures anymore with like their actual faces showing?
I do on Facebook, but then only on the like friends
only. Okay. See, that's what I was wondering too. So I'm like, because if it's something, if I'm seeing this coming from like, I don't know, like my cousin or something posting their family and their kids, I'm like that's, I think that's innocent, right? I mean, is it because of y'all's background is what I'm trying to figure out. Like,
it depends on how you do it. I do the same thing that Susanna does. Is like only on my Facebook I post my kids, and that's just because I curated my friends list,
right?
And then the other stuff goes public. But one thing to touch on too is like, even though somebody's doing it like innocently and they're not like directly exploiting, but they're aware of what people can do on the internet. And one thing is to say like, okay, so you've seen this guy's kids. I don't know who this creator is, but you've seen this guy's kids. If you saw them at Walmart, you would probably recognize the kids, right? And that's creepy because it's like, okay, well, you could be anybody and you could start saying, hey Jim, hey John, and then they would like that. They would answer. Is very scary for. It's already weird for me to get recognized, and then for my kids to be recognized in public. And what if you weren't with them? What
by
if
a stranger?
By themselves,
by a stranger.
Imagine if they're with their other parent and you weren't there.
And they're like calling my kid's name.
Hey Johnny.
Yeah.
Could
you imagine? And you don't know who these people are.
Right.
And so, yes, I think that sometimes people, I don't know. I think we're all aware what can happen. So, it doesn't seem like it's harmful and they are doing it in a genuine way. I still think that they know what they're doing. And so for me, I'm just like, absolutely like, no.
Can I tell you, Sadie, about something that happened this week? Can I tell her about it? About the creator?
Yeah, go ahead. I was going to.
No, you tell it. You. Okay. There's a creator that we know, right? And she made a video and she puts her kids in the videos. And essentially this creator was like, there's cool things that can happen when you're a kid influencer. Someone recognized the kid. Like,
that's what she said. like
their school, right?
Yeah, like proud of it.
But you know what? Like a lot of kids, I mean, if that's where they come from, then they think it's a good thing. Like you said, at such a young age, they get the exposure, so they're like,
love it.
Yeah, they probably love it.
Oh, Oliver would eat it up.
My daughter truly thinks she has a YouTube channel, telling everybody, but I just act like I'm filming it.
Right.
Like, it's up there.
It's just I think to be responsible, I don't know. People do it for their own
reasons or whatever.
But it's not cool to like, I don't know, the whole like getting recognized, like, yeah, it's cool, but at the end of the day, it's like they're gonna have a lot of trauma. Like, why am I in the spotlight? Like, why? Yeah.
And you see,
eventually when they grow older, they're gonna be like, it's gonna come back to them. Like,
that's
wait,
weird.
why was
like,
that?
Why did you do? Like when we were younger, we had home videos on VHS tapes. We didn't have the internet.
Your mom wasn't like posting your every move, bro. That's and I know kids enough that I know that most of the time they don't want to do that content, even if it's a fun thing. There's so many times my daughter wants to do like these TikTok dances and we'll do them and I'm like, oh, let's do it again, just for us. And she's like, no, I'm not doing it. I imagine there have to be forcing them at some point.
Like, do this again. Even pictures for my kids. I'm like, come on, guys.
Like they don't even want to smile.
There's no way these kids are just doing it
out of their own free will. Like, yeah, of course I will repeat washing.
They're getting forced to do it, and that they're gonna get like bribery, and all that. Yeah, but
it's gross.
That's crazy. And thinking of that from that side.
Okay, literally, like, I don't want to compare it to this, but it's like having like a slave in a way.
Yeah, they're not getting paid for it. That's why I think they're going to come around and start like suing these parents for the money.
In Cali, it's illegal now.
Good.
Like they have like child labor laws, like that are like specific to that.
Good.
And I feel like that should be everywhere. But everywhere else is like 10 years behind, anyways, too. But. Yeah, I don't F with that.
I think it's like, that's what I'm saying, is like coming from like people, especially that they want a platform, right? So for example, if it's just somebody like me, like I don't do anything like social media, like other than this, right? In the future, when I have kids, I'm going to post my kids, right? Yeah. And it's just for my friends, like on my Facebook page, you know what I mean? But then like I wouldn't really like want to like expose them for like my personal gains. Like I think it's just, it goes,
isn't that fucked up?
It's kind of weird to think about, but it's kind of become so normal that you have to kind of sit down and unpack that.
Like I really don't think about these things because I see videos on TikToks of like little babies. They would do something funny, and then, like you said, it could be like an innocent thing only, you know. And I don't think about these things, so I'm just like, oh, like I like it, and I'm like, I think it's funny, and I repost it. But then there really are crazy people out there,
dude. Even so like you don't even want to know what crazy things people do. Even like kids eating bottles.
Oh, that's
like that type of shit.
And somebody, one time I made a video about this, and somebody commented, it's like, ew, gross, I can't believe your mind goes there. And it's like, no, you have to go there because this is the reality.
Happening.
Of course, we're not going to think anything of it.
Right.
We think it's
There's
cute
fucking
and funny
sickos out
until
there.
we get educated on it, and we're like, oh, the possibilities.
The possibilities. Yeah, that's.
Do you know
crazy.
there's so like there's so many sickos out there that were these parents. Literally, there's some parents that literally put their kids in swimming suits and put it online. And like
they know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. There's a whole bunch of pedophiles. Like, oh, you want to see, this? Like, just go to this person's Instagram page. Like, to me, that's like so wrong as an adult. Like, your kid doesn't know what you're doing.
Right.
They don't know that there's a whole nother weird.
They don't know what's going on
there.
Yeah. Like maybe, and I want to say, being devil's avocado, okay, some of these parents, maybe they don't know that side of it too. They're like you said, like I'm saying, like they're just probably innocently posting like, oh, it's a summer picture with my kids.
Well, I think you're talking about just like a regular schmegular person.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like content.
Okay, see, that's a whole
millions of followers.
Okay, so that's a whole different thing.
Yeah, in the video, all of a sudden.
See, I'm not thinking that way because I'm not in that.
Yeah.
Now for like the average Joe, like of course they don't.
Right.
Yeah, like on my Facebook, like I'm pretty relaxed with the friends area because I know those people, and it's mainly family.
But someone with like a big platform,
like the creators.
Okay.
I think my mind always just goes to creators, so I don't even think about
different perspective. That's why. I'm like I really hope you touch on this topic too, because I'm really like obviously coming from like different backgrounds, so I'm thinking from like regular schmegular people that compared to like somebody that actually has like a platform of a big following.
I think my mind goes to like content creation, like career. That's why. Like absolutely. In that realm,
that's fair. Yeah,
because there's a lot of people in the industry that do that. Like Tarra said, it's a norm now.
Yeah,
where it's like you have like some people just have their kids in the content.
People don't realize that you can still be a mom creator or a parent creator without showing your kids.
Yes. Yes.
Show the back of their head. You can show it.
Like
the action of them doing something. You don't have to show their face.
Yeah.
You don't have to. And I think for me, it's like just protecting your integrity and like protecting your kids' privacy. Like that whole thing of like getting recognized, like that's not cool. Like, I'm sorry. That's just weird to me.
So I have a question for this because you guys I feel really strongly on that, and I do support that. Just I'm letting you know. But what about whenever your kids get older into like at an age where they feel like they do want to be exposed on your stuff? How would you feel about that? If they were asked to be like, hey, can I be in your video, or can I have a little introduction in your video, when they're at the age where they feel comfortable? How would you feel about that as a mom?
I think that I would be okay with it if we had the conversation and they were at a proper age and I felt like that they were understanding like the risk of it, but I would definitely like make sure that they were informed. I think we went into this also blind of kind of, and we're kind of learning along the way, but I think having parents like us would be a huge key and helpful for them.
Yeah, for sure. I would say like even if they're like in middle school or whatever, I'm like, not until you're like, I don't know, for me my mind goes to like 18, like to where you're old enough and like you actually comprehend what you're doing.
Yeah, we all think we know better at like a young age, but we really don't.
Exactly. Like they're kids, they grew up on freaking internet. They're gonna want to be on the internet. It's like no, you have to know the risks.
Yeah,
so I think definitely like making sure that they understand.
Yeah. Well, that's great. That really goes along. I feel like when you talk about kids and internet, it really could be like a huge like like you can go into a rabbit hole with this thing,
girl,
because like you don't even.
We were just talking about this yesterday.
Were we?
Yes, we were? about Oliver. Remember, like
yeah. You're right.
About what kids consume,
exposure and whatnot. And like you said, I mean, a while ago, whenever you told me that your son, remember, he was like on a video game and he just started talking to like a random stranger, got into a chat with him. Like that's scary without even having to see each other. Like from a teacher's point of view, it's huge for you as an adult and a parent to really, really limit and check and make sure that you stay on top of their electronics. And
I never really. Do you do that? Like, do they play Roblox?
Yeah.
And I didn't know
an online thing.
I didn't know chat was a thing.
Yeah.
Until because he does this voice to text on his like the keyboard because he doesn't know how to say the exact like type the exact words. So he'll be like, "What are you doing?" or something like that, and I'm like, "Who are you talking to?" And I look, and it's like a chat. And I'm like, "You." And we had a long conversation after. I'm like, "You cannot be telling people your name, where you live, you know, like telling them what state you are, like whatever. You cannot be going into private information." So we had a long talk over that. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. Yep.
That's crazy.
Like I mean, I don't know, like growing up that wasn't really a thing. Like it was just like video games.
So that's kind of like the same thing with the whole picture and thing. Like some, you know, weird, nasty, older like pedophiles out there, they will purposely target these websites that kids have access to online, and they will try to, you know,
I feel like the Roblox games too.
Yeah, it's scary. My daughter just got into that.
Roblox.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, my son. Yeah, after we had that talk, I was like,
you just have to really stay on top of it.
Can you turn the chat off? I need to look.
It's like each game is its own mini game. Oh. So you can't necessarily, because when you go in there, I would just say like maybe just have her not use the chat option or whatever. Yeah. Like I told him he cannot use it.
Yeah.
Like if he's talking and he wants to chat with a friend, like he has to make sure that he's not telling anything private about himself. Like talk about the game. You're not
just
talking.
the game. Yeah,
because they're so innocent.
They're so innocent. They have no idea. Yeah, exactly.
I saw this video where this boy, he was talking to some guy on Roblox, and he was telling the guy, it was a grown man basically, and he didn't know that it was a grown man, and he was talking to him about his mom, and that his mom wants a boyfriend.
I saw the video.
Like that. Yeah, so
and he pulled up to the house.
Yes, he gave this man the address to their house, and this man pulled up in a truck, and it was a little boy like on the porch, and he's like, "Hey, like you're here, you're my friend from Roblox, right? Come meet my mom." And he's like, "I thought you were a grown man."
Yeah, he knew exactly.
He knew what he was doing.
That's scary.
He
why
knew
are
what he was
on Roblox?
And why are you pulling up to the house? Like,
dude, men are creepy.
Oh, it's creepy. So creepy.
I think like the whole child exploitation, kids, everything. I think it's the parents' responsibility.
It all comes down to the parents. The parents, like, you know,
they need to protect like you're the adult. You have to be able to make the decision to like protect your kids. And, like their innocence.
Yep.
Structure
no
limits.
Excuse.
Yes, I agree.
So gross.
I hate that. It makes my tummy hurt.
I know. I hear stories all the time for my job, and it's just like it really does make me sick.
Ew. It makes me sick. About like kids on games.
Just anything in general about how especially like exposures to like online things, that how you know easy it is that people can just like target your kids or kids in general. You know,
and it's crazy because as someone who grew up with a lot of like childhood trauma. I can only imagine how much more electronics
I'm telling you, it has
can play a role.
Yes.
We have this segment on our podcast with guests. It's called Quick Questions or something like that.
We can call it that for now.
It's called Quick Questions.
Okay.
And it's basically a fire round where we ask you questions and you have to say the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay. Sneakers or heels?
What is
Sneakers. This is Snickers.
Like candy?
Snickers. No, this is Snickers. See, I was.
Yeah,
Sneakers or heels?
Sneakers.
Okay. Rice or noodles?
Ooh, rice.
Starbucks drink.
Ooh, I like their the sugar cookie latte right now.
Oh, that sounds. I haven't had that yet. That sounds good.
It's the only time I really like dedicate myself to Starbucks is during this. It's like cold.
Okay, it's a cold drink.
Yeah.
Okay, dress or skirts?
Dress.
Okay, coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Okay, tattoo or nails?
Ooh,
that's a good one.
And she has both on Nails. Oh my god, look at her nails.
I know. I was looking at it the whole time when she was. Those are so cute.
Thank you.
Summer or winter?
Ooh, in Oklahoma, that's hard. I'm gonna go summer.
Okay.
Fruits or vegetables?
Ooh,
veggies.
Same. Veggies?
I do veggies all the time. Like, as much as I want to do fruits, I'm a veggie girly.
Steamed broccoli? Yeah.
I love any steamed broccoli.
I have an addiction right now to Mandarin Taste and their broccoli beef.
Oh, they're so good. Mandarin Taste is so good.
Have I been there? I don't think I've been there.
You might have.
Excuse me. God bless you.
Thank you. You haven't been to Mandarin Taste?
No.
It's on, isn't it on 61st and something?
They moved to 91st and Sheridan.
Oh, they did?
Yep.
It's pretty dang good. We took my parents there before.
I haven't been
Chinese
there.
restaurant.
Chinese, yeah.
I've heard of it, but I've never been there.
You order and then
Been
you
here forever.
I have a question. Okay, a blunt or edibles?
Blunt.
Hey,
Yeah, I can't do it.
Edibles give me.
Dude,
I go
edibles
into. It's not a good thing for me.
It gets me paranoid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
edibles are
I've
just
never been
way
able to handle them very well.
Me either, man. I'll smoke a blunt any day, but
Yeah.
edibles.
Yeah,
It's a
no.
funny story the other day.
silver or gold?
Gold.
Ooh.
Gold girly too. I do like silver. I end up doing gold. You're a silver girly though.
I feel like I'm transitioning you.
you
Silver. I feel like silver is having its moment right now.
It is.
It's coming back. I went into the gold moment and now I need to probably transfer to silver.
I like mixing too. Mixing
Yeah.
is, I fucking love mixing.
That's
them.
cute.
Okay, hats or beanies?
Ooh, hats. I'm a hat wearer.
You are. A hat.
She is a
You
hat
are.
wearer.
I can
love
tell.
hats.
I can tell.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, stripes or like pattern like this.
Pattern.
Ooh.
Per use. Per. Okay. Okay, I think that's it. I don't have any more.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here with us
Yeah,
today.
thanks for having me.
Some great convos. I
Yeah.
feel like. But you
Yeah,
say so
Tara,
much,
thank
so.
you so much for coming onto the podcast.
thanks
We
for having
love
me.
having you. I hope you have fun.
Yes.
What are your
And-
socials?
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
We're going to put it right here above your head in the
Yes.
YouTube video.
Okay, so you can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Hi, H-I-G-H. It's I-T-S, Tarra with 2 R's, T-A-R-R-A. And yeah, those are my platforms right now. Sutana's telling me to get on YouTube. And I have one too, so you can find me at the same username.
Exactly, as she should.
Period.
Thank you so much, Tara. I really
you.
appreciate you being here.
As always.
We upload a new episode every Monday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can find us at 116th Hotline on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook.
Stay tuned to our next episode next week. Bye.
Bye.